Madam Speaker, House Resolution 379 provides for consideration of H.R. 627, the Credit Card Holders Bill of Rights Act. On a regular basis, constituents of mine from Colorado contact me in disappointment with stories about actions taken by their credit card companies. Hardworking Americans who make payments on time, have good credit, and live within their means see their rates increase without notice and without cause. In a time when many Americans are struggling to pay their mortgage, when healthcare costs are increasing, and many are out of work, unfair credit card practices threaten many families. Americans deserve a fair shake. They deserve transparency and not smoke and mirrors. They deserve reliability and not chaos within their statements. The bill brought to us today by Congressman Gutierrez and Congresswoman Maloney, the Credit Card Holders Bill of Rights Act, gives consumers a fair deal. Prior to 1990, credit cards had more or less standardized rates around 20%. Few fees, and they were generally offered to persons with high credit standards. However, since 1990, card issuers have adopted risk-based pricing, and as a result of this new pricing structure, rates have increased and fees have increased dramatically. Today's credit cards features a wide variety of interest rates that reflect a complex list of factors. The terms of most agreements have become so complicated, consumers don't know what they are getting into when they sign on to a credit card agreement. Most, if not all, agreements allow the issuer to change the interest rate or other terms of the agreement at any time for any reason. For example, there is something called universal default in most credit card agreements. Universal default allows the credit card company to change the rate or change the terms of the credit card agreement for something completely unrelated to the credit card. That's got to stop. There are also practices which allow for the credit card companies to apply payments to the lowest rate of interest, not the highest rate of interest, so that amounts continue to grow under the credit card agreements. There are things that are including double billing cycles. So you think that you've paid off a substantial portion of the credit card, but in fact you continue to get interest charged against the amount you already paid off. These are excessive practices and they must be changed. Under H.R. 627, issuers can only raise interest rates for the reasons provided within the legislation as proposed. Madam Speaker, the American people have spoken. Too many stories have been told, and I think everybody in this chamber, and certainly in the many hearings that we had in financial services, all had individual stories about credit cards and excessive practices. Americans are tired of opening their monthly credit card bill and noticing that their interest rate has jumped from 8% to 15% for no reason. H.R. 627 establishes responsible regulation within an industry which has taken advantage of many vulnerable Americans. Finally, I want to note the careful balance this bill takes. We have had over a half dozen hearings on this bill alone. It's the product of years of meetings and hearings and conversations and input from all interested parties, and roughly 60,000 public comments. This bill provides the fairness Americans have asked for from their credit card companies. I urge my colleagues to vote in favor of this rule and the underlying bill, and with that, I reserve the balance of my time.